This week for our third group book for class, we didn't read a book, but instead we watched the movie Trolls. It's a movie about a group of super positive creatures for whom the movie is named, who are preyed upon by the Bergens, who hope to become as happy as their trolls. The characters in the Trolls movie are all fictional, fairy tale characters. A common tactic in literature is to use animals in books as characters as opposed to humans, who are usually characterized in the minds of the readers by their appearance. It's kind of hard to assign a character a race that's like a rabbit or a troll in this case. So like these don't look like humans. You couldn't say that they're a certain race. This is done very often in children's literature books, and those books are sometimes labeled as multicultural or diverse. I know, for instance, in scholastic book fairs, they have many books that are like in their diverse collection that include animals or like not real creatures. The University of Wisconsin-Madison's Cooperative Children's Book Center reported that in 2018, the percentage of children's books with animals as characters outnumbered those of Black, Hispanic, Asian, and Native people combined. So the total number of animal books was way more than the total number of books including people of color. And Lees and Low Books reported that just 13% of children's books contained multicultural content, which is a stark difference from like the population of people of color in the US. So the characters themselves in Trolls, in the movie, there are mainly two types of characters. So we have the trolls here. They're like really petite. They're very colorful, which reflects or shows that they're happy, and it shows their happiness. And then we have the Bergens, who have this like pale color. They're mostly like really big and kind of like made to seem unattractive. Their teeth aren't right. The king right here has red eyes. So I think the goal, or what they tried to do with these characters, is to allow all people to see themselves in the characters. I mean, I think this kind of worked. Most likely all of the children that watch this movie would want to be trolls. They probably wouldn't want to see themselves as Bergens. But it allows us to see the characters for who they were. So we saw the trolls as happy creatures who spread joy and happiness, and the Bergens as the creatures who needed a bit of help finding that joy and happiness from within. So any person could be either of these. Whatever race you are, you could be a Bergen or you could be a troll. So children who watch this movie hopefully will identify with either of these groups and find a way to either spread happiness or find happiness from within, just as both of these groups have done by the end of the movie. And looking at the cast and crew of the movie, it's overwhelmingly white. These are the main characters. We have Justin Timberlake, there's Russell Brand, Anna Kendrick, James Corden, a couple other people. There's a bit more diversity when it comes to gender. So this is a picture of most likely the cast and crew at the premiere, maybe just the cast at the premiere. So this movie came out in 2016, which is the year of the Oscars So White controversy. This came about because the nominations for the Oscars this year, of the awards that were for leading and supporting actors and actresses, none of them were people of color. So all 20 awards were for all 20 nominees were white people. And this led to many speaking out against the homogeny of the Oscars and prompted a closer look into the Academy and the film industry as a whole. So promoting the idea that people of color make movies, people of color are in movies, and they make good movies, and they should be celebrated and reverenced just as other movies are. So out of this, well, I guess not out of this, but after this, we saw movies like Black Panther, which had a majority, if not almost all Black cast, as well as like a Black director and much of their crew were Black people, and they did really well in the Black box office. And then we had Always Be My Maybe, and we had Crazy Rich Asians who also did well. And so this showed that like the people want to see movies that are made by and with diverse peoples. So going back to Trolls, music-wise, they drew inspiration from many Black musicians and artists. So they had songs, they had I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross, which is mixed with Biggie's More Money, More Problems. They had Earth, Wind & Fire's September, and then also Hello by Lionel Richie. But again, none of the singers were any Black singers, so they drew the songs but didn't actually include the people in the album. So in conclusion, at the surface of the movie, without much thought into diversity, it would be hard to say if Trolls is diverse or not, because we just see these pink and blue characters who like don't really match up with any group of people. But when looking past the animations and into the cast and crew, we can see that it's not nearly diverse enough. So hopefully the Oscars So White conversations and the success of other movies such as Black Panther, Crazy Rich Asians, will let the industry know that the public values and wants to see more content that involves and reflects such a large portion of the US population and movie consumers. Thank you.